Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the criteria keywords should or must meet before you consider creating books on them or on it. Okay, so basically we create our books on keywords that we find. So these are criteria. Now, why I say should or must is because I've become so flexible. I don't try to stay under one rule. That's why I'll give you the criteria, but I'll tell you it's not like they are set in stone. You can bend them, you can tweak them a little bit. Okay, that's why I said should or must. Okay, so basically the good keyword qualifier is what I talk about when I say should or must. Okay, so but the criteria is this: high demand, low competition. Okay, so you want a keyword that has books that are in high demand, but you don't want one that has high competition, that has plenty people competing for it. Okay, you want the one that, so that's the what do you call it, the sweet spot of research: high demand, low competition. Okay, high demand, low competition. So always remember, I'm trying to look for the sweet spot of high demand, low competition. So the good keyword qualifier is HD by LC. Okay, so so another thing is published books that serves an audience. Okay, this is very important. Okay, I realize that a lot of people just think, oh, I should just publish books. And yeah, now let's start. But that's not how to make money from this business. You have to publish to serve an audience. Okay, and you have to niche it down, meaning niching it down to the last niche, niching it down to the as in to the very minute sub niche. Okay, so that it's easy for you to compete there, it's easy for you to pick up sales there. If you go for broad niche, you're going to struggle because there's going to be high demand, but there's going to be high competition. Okay, and you're going to have people that are more experienced than you, the people that have money to spend. But if you go for high demand, low competition, and you niche down to serve a particular audience, then you can start picking up sale as quick. Okay, so there's a student of mine that created the journal. Okay, so he's a Muslim. He created a journal. He realized that he saw a lot of Christian prayer journals, and he created one for Muslim. He created one for Muslims, and the guy did thousands of dollars from that book. And as I'm recording this video, he's still doing sales from it. So now, why did he do that? Because he could find the sweet spot, and he created a book to serve an audience, which are the Muslims. Okay, and he just worked out for him because, but probably the particular book, I don't know the type of journal he created, but I'm not sure even if it's a prayer journal. But I know that prayer journals are very popular, and I don't see prayer journals for Muslim. I don't think I see that much, or maybe I don't pay attention. But he just told me that he created something. It's a Muslim journal. I don't know the particular topic which he created it for on. But at the end of the day, he made thousands of dollars from that niche. So basically, you need to serve an audience. You need to find a sweet spot of the high demand, low competition, and publish books that add value or something to the market. See, guys, we are publishing to human beings. It's human beings that is buying these books. So your book has to add value to the market or stand out. You can't just create shabby covers or watered down covers and think people will buy it. No, they will not buy it. There must be something special. There must be something attractive. You should see the book that you create, and you yourself should be willing to buy it. That's how you make sales from this business. Okay, so I'm breaking all these things down so that you know what to go for, you know what to look out for, you know what to do when you start creating your own books. You don't just start doing any wish-wash job and thinking that, oh, Uncle Fenga, I'm not getting sales. You have to be thorough with all these things. Now, you're not going to, of course, you might not be an expert. It's not going to be all that very, very, very easy. Yeah, you've gotten the training from me, I've gotten my experience, but it's going to take you time to master it. Once you master it, it becomes the second nature. So when you go to Amazon, by default, you know all these things in your head, and you're looking for that sweet spot, and you're going to be finding it easy. So when you start and it's looking like, oh, it's like, this thing is too much, that's because you're just starting. It's just like somebody that just starts driving. She's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. But eventually, when the person drives more, goes to different places, they are going to get comfortable with driving. So that's basically what it is when it comes to research. Okay, and that's why I'm taking my time to break it down one after the other so that you don't have any reason to be confused. You know exactly what you need to do to get those good keywords that will bring you sales. Okay, so so what do I mean by low competition? So low competition is any keyword that has less than 1,000. Some people say 3,000, some people push it to 3,000. But when you are starting, I prefer just start with 1,000. Then as you get better at it, you can now be going to 2,000, 3,000 search results and compete there to make some money. Because the thing is, all these books, once you have more research, once you have more book published on it, that means there's more money there. But you have to be already, you have to have honed your skills to compete with more books. Okay, so that's why I say start with the low competition, and also look out for keywords that don't, when you are doing research, look out for keywords that don't have the exact keyword in that search result. Okay, so let me go to what I'm saying. Let's do this practically. So let's go back to our incognito. All right, so let's what keyword should I use? Okay, so there's this keyword shadow work journal. Okay, shadow work journal, shadow work journal. So it's 8,000, right? But let's shadow work journal. I had a keyword. Okay, shadow work journal for beginners. Let's try to break it down. So you see, when you're looking for a keyword, if it's 3 words and it's still very high, you can add something to it. You might say for kids, you might say for women, you might say for men, you might say for age 10 to 5, 5 to 10. That's how I niche. That's how I go to the, as in, reduce my search results. So when I find a good keyword, I always want to look for variations of it. Okay, look at it now. Shadow workbook for beginners. See, it has dropped to 2,000. So for me now, I can actually create this. This is a keyword I found while I was doing research. Shadow work journal. So I could just use that as an example ASAP for you. Okay, so now what I mean by this is low competition. We have 2,000. So like I said, 2,000, 3,000, they are still not bad for a what do you call it, for a low content book. Then high demand. That means you have at least three books that have BSR of less than 300,000 from the 1 to 10. So let's go back and search for this. So you will now see why this thing comes in handy. That's DS quick view. You see, we don't need to start putting them one by one. So now, remember I told you, when it's sponsored, don't bother. This is sponsored, so we're not using that as our criteria. This is not sponsored, so we can use it. See, it's even independently published, so that's a good one. You see, and it has 1,000. That's still fine. 18,000. Why I said 1,000 is still fine is because it's independently published. So this person must actually be. I wouldn't really bother about that right now, okay? Because we're still doing research. And then we see now 29 paperback. You see, Rock Bridge Press. This is actually a big house, publishing house. Which is one is independent published and is doing fine. 13,157. You see now that 10-day shadow work journal 97,000. So we see that we're having loads and loads of books. This is actually an highly competitive market. Okay, that's the truth, because there are loads of books that are doing well, and okay, see, we are seeing 900,000. So that's still a mini a step for us, as in like a chance for us to get into the market. Okay, so okay, 2 million. Okay, okay, work shadow workbook journal. There's another. Okay, this one hasn't. Okay, it's free right now. It's free right now. 300,000. So you see that this niche. Okay, now look at here. I think the books on shadow work journal has finished. As in the competition is finished. Okay, right. So that's why it's no more filling up here. That's why if you go to page 2, you realize that okay, we are still seeing some shadow work, but you see now start seeing that it's not be so much of shadow work books anymore. Okay, shadow work books for kids. So you can see that's another keyword. Okay, while we're doing this research, you're already seeing another keyword, shadow work for kids. I don't know if that's selling well, but we can actually look into that. Okay, so shadow work for beginners. And so that's basically what I was trying to tell you. 2000 is not loading. I don't know why this whole thing is not loading. So let me just pause it and come back and I'll show you. Okay, so it's the publisher SPT has actually brought out the stats. So 42, well, it's not green. So this is a bit competitive for me, and the average BSR is not all that good. Okay, no, sorry. This I think this is the second page. This is the second page. That's why it's I. So you can see shadow work for kids. So this is actually good. Prompt shadow work workbook for kids. So that's we got two keywords right there. Prompt shadow work workbook for kids. Prompt work journal for kids. So we already have two keywords right there. Okay. So if you go back to one, I'm sure it's going to be better. So let's go back to one. So I'm going to we came back to page one. So let's see the result that will come out. So all right, so this is the shadow work journals for beginners. That's the first result now. So 2062 is giving us a good neat score. And the average is not all that bad, 425. I will still want to go for it because the reviews are actually not that much. So this is actually a keyword I want to go for. Obviously, you have to also research what shadow workbook shadow is and all that to understand what they mean. But that's to tell you that this is actually a good keyword. All right, so you can see now that we have three or more books, less than 300,000 BSR. The competition is low because it's 2,000. And so for me now, if I want to create this book, I'm going to actually look at what is there and I'll start seeing how I can improve on them. So that's what I said. Try to make a better book than the ones in the market. Combine book ideas, use new angles, etc. Address negative reviews in your books. Now, so what do I mean by negative review? So let's go to one of the book that has okay, so let's go to this one. You see they have an half star here, so let's see why they got that star. So I'll click on these stars. That's the review. So it's going to take us. So let me click on one. I want to see what this person is saying. I want to see why that person gave them very disappointing. The journal workbook is not in color like others I have received. So okay, so that's the book.
None of this is actually in color, like described. I don't know why, but literally not one thing.
So that's why she's pissed. So if I want to create this one now, I might now make mine colored. And I think she's angry because probably the person that said it's colored. Okay, let's go for the 2 star. Let's see why they gave it 2 star. I like the form of the book. However, the book printed without color. The paper quality is not great. Okay, take a bit of understanding, but doesn't seem to start at the beginning and doesn't seem to end at the end. Hard to understand. Did not enjoy. So now, for me, if I'm going to create my book, I'm going to resolve this because the colored version is actually going to be expensive. That's why the guy didn't do a color print. Okay, that's why I didn't put it out in color because it's going to be very expensive, right? So I'm going to be able to treat this in my own. So let's go to star three. Let's see why the person said, "I love the hardcover, but super bummed it's not in color." So my first book, I first got the book with Kindle Unlimited to see if it's worth a purchase. Then, and in the reviews, it's beautiful and colorful. My copy is all black and white. So that's to tell you that they don't want the book in black and white. That's just basically what it is. They don't want it in black and white. So obviously, let's try and see why they are saying they don't want it in black and white. Okay, let's try and see why they're saying they don't want it in black and white. Maybe the guy promised them colored. Beginner from controversial cell, become cool at your authentic cell. Are you struggling? Note, this is black and white version. Oh, okay. For a full colored version, please see all formats and editions or copy the paste. Okay, so the guy actually has a colored version of it. Okay, so that's for that. Okay, so all right, so I would now, like I said, you look at new angles where you can approach this keyword from and see how you can do a better job. than these people that are ranking. Okay, can do a better job. For example, if I can't find a better angle, I'll just go for a better keyword. For example, I found that kid, then I'll look into that shadow work journals for kid. I'll also try and see if there's something there. All right, so I think I've addressed this now. So let's go to the next. So I will end this video here so that we can go into how to build your account right.